feeling, this sense that Ruto's government may be coming down. I want to look at what seems to be bringing Ruto down. What seems to be bringing the government down? For indeed, it will take a lot of effort from William Samoei Ruto for his government to remain in power. And it's not that Raila Odinga will do it. No. Yes, Ruto will have to work hard not to go down, not to lose his government. And it's not because of Mandamano. No. Ruto's government faces a real risk of collapsing. Not because of mass action. And this is why the government could go down. If you look at the finance bill of this year, then you see a government going down. You see a government going down because the burden being placed on the people of Kenya, even those who love the president like me, will crash under the burden of what is contained in the finance bill. Yesterday, talking at the burial service for Shujaa Mukami Kimathi, the president said he had removed about 20 taxes or something thereabout. I didn't quite get it well. Taxes on this, and 500 billion that would have been taken as loans. He has saved Kenyans. But I asked myself a simple question. And that's why danger lies in that finance bill. Mbona raisi unatafutilia vikodi mbalimbali ambavyo hata vionekani? Why are you telling us there are taxes you have touched, about 20 of them, yet we can't see them? When you want to solve a problem, and this is what the president should do, you begin by the low-hanging fruits. You approach a problem in a simple way before you look for complications. Why doesn't the president take the electricity bill he receives? I doubt now that he receives. Just get one of your aides. Tell him, please give me your electricity bill. They come on phone. Look at the levies on the electricity bill. Why can't the president just pluck one of them out and say this no, this one no, 3 of them, and finally the price, the cost of electricity will come down in a very practical, simple manner. With about 9 levies or so on petroleum products, petrol, diesel, and kerosene, why can't the president just say, out of these 9 taxes and levies on petrol, on diesel, I am removing this, tupa kando. I am removing this, tupa kando. I'm removing 3 of them or 2 of them. And automatically the prices of fuel will move down petrol from around 180 to 140. Tangible. Tangible. Very tangible. The finance bill contains the danger that will eat William Ruto's government. The noise we all witnessed when Uhuru introduced VAT on fuel, on petrol. The noise and uproar that forced Uhuru to reduce the VAT from the intended 16 to 8 And that today, William Ruto feels nothing about levying 16% on fuel VAT. That workers were up in arms when President Uhuru tried to introduce 1.5% housing levy. The uproar, the noise, the litigation in court from trade unions until the president shelved it. Today, the president intends to push this, not necessarily in the Finance Act bill, but intends to push this to double, 3%. The taxation measures that mean the cost of living for the common man will go up in a manner not conceivable will bring this government down. And now to the insensitivity. That on the one hand, you are introducing taxes and levies to the poor common people who depend on you on a salary. But on the other hand, you are granting exemptions for people to bring in luxuries like helicopters. You may argue how many helicopters will be brought. But I've always said it's about perception. The perception today is that as you tax the common man heavily and reasonably, you are giving incentives, tax exemptions to those who are bringing helicopters and other luxuries. And that's not enough. The insensitivity with which the government is pushing the finance bill, in the words of Osoro, the chief whip, government chief whip, government never loses a bill or a motion, and this will go through. In the words of Senator Cherargei, my friend from Nandi, the bill will be passed without even changing a comma. The sycophants that goes with a serious matter that could bring the government down is what I fear will bring this government down. And not for nothing, for those who are laughing with this matter, one pay slip in this country, supports more than 20 people outside the nuclear family of the holder. My payslip, miserable as it is, over and above taking care of my family and I, ends up supporting another 20 or so families across this country. That is a Kenyan payslip. A Kenyan payslip is not an American payslip. An American payslip belongs to the employee. It is you and your money in Europe. It is you and your money in Japan. And therefore, when those from the World Bank and the IMF speak, they speak of a country they know not. Any Kenyan earning a salary, however meager, ends up supporting many other people in that chain. So when you touch this payslip, you are affecting a chain of Kenyans. When you delay the salaries, like you did last month, many families not even related to the worker will go to bed hungry. So two things. One, the obvious levies and taxes this government is bringing on board. 30% for those who want some amount. Income tax. The new charges on NSSF, even for people who already have pension schemes. And then NSSF never used to be charged for people who are on pension. I never used to pay NSSF, and for good reason. But in the past few years, I've been paying in SSF, and now I'm forced to pay more on top of that 30% income tax. Nyambane put it so well 20 years ago, I understand. That video is going around. And then you load on this housing levy. And then the same meager salary from that payslip that has already been mutilated by the government. An economy like Kenya cannot afford to have workers having 52-55% deductions on their payslips. And that's why I always argue the businessmen in this country are actually stupid, because they continue to develop houses and buildings and malls. Who will shop in these malls when Kenyans do not have purchasing power? The little salary they are given, because Kenyans get slave wages, not living wages. The little wages Kenyans get are under attack every year. You come with the new levies. There's no purchasing power left. Who is going to shop in those malls you are constructing? Those wonderful estates. Had it not been that the people still in this country are able to buy those houses, the houses will not get market. If I normally walk in those malls just to take stock, just know I'm not mad, and I see people just taking selfies, people are not shopping in those malls because Kenyans don't have purchasing power. So government must immediately do two things. One, find a way of improving the economy so that they can give people living wages. Salaries must be real salaries. They affect the economy. Such a poor salaries cannot sustain an economy. And number two, reduce taxes and levies so that people have disposable income. So people have money they can use to purchase, to grow the economy, to save. A country without saving will continue borrowing, because it is a saving that grows an economy through investment. I'm urging government, if they don't want to go down the way other governments have gone, and because of the insensitivity, unions are up in arms, including people from where the president comes from. I can imagine a school teacher. School teachers have miserable pay slips. On top of earning little salaries, they are engaged in little things, deductions on SACCOs. Teachers take home 3,000, 4,000, 7,000. Then you come with 3% housing levy, increased NSSF. What are you now saying? We are saying that the worker can go home and die. But I want to say this. The Kenyan worker will not die before the government dies. It's naked truth. The government must know that when you push people to a wall, even your own pet, even your own cat, it will come back. It will hit you. The government must not push workers to a point where there's no point in working. I can assure you, and I want government to undertake a study. It's not even a study, just look at the facts. I want government to commission somebody to look at pay slips when they effect these deductions in July. And I want government to be honest with us as people of this country. I want government to tell us how many people will begin getting zero. And I want to tell government, this 3% and the new NSSF, there are many pay slips that cannot even take it. People are already on zero, on 1,000, and you want 4,000. Where will you get it? So before workers are destroyed, and we must build workers, I am sure this destruction will move in the direction of government before the workers go down. And my advice to government is very simple. Rethink some of these things. Rethink some of the strategies. Shelve some of these things. And let's have a national conversation about housing, about NSSF. It is true people are saving too little. Our neighbors, Ugandans, are doing very well, Ugandans. But we need to look at certain factors, certain reality. How much do Kenyan workers get? How have they so far committed their pay slips? Is there enough on a teacher's pay slip today for government to get 3%? The answer is no.